Welcome to Somatic Sadhana. Welcome. Recording everywhere. I'm just going to check that I'm on the right thing here. Microphone. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Somatic Sadhana. Welcome, welcome. All right. Apply. Welcome. All right, let's get started. I'm so glad. Hi, everybody. Some of you I know, some of you I don't know. So, put where you're coming from. So good to see you all. We're here to study together. And I've been hearing like people do these things called curriculums. Maybe sometimes I feel like I live under a rock, because I'm just so focused on the things that I want to teach and learn myself that I don't always take in all the pop culture. But I feel like we're doing our curriculum right now, right? Like we're studying the things that we want to study to be. It's a good question. Like, why do we do these things? We do these things. We study psychology. We study not science, relationships, so that we can have a more fulfilling life, And I think it's so important to consider why we're doing all that. So let's get started. We are on page 22, and I feel like I've been reading a lot of pages all at once. So let's just, we're going to do like one or two. Okay. So page 22, Drama of the Gifted Child. Children who are intelligent, alert, attentive, sensitive, and completely attuned to the mother's well-being are entirely at her disposal. Transparent, clear, and reliable, they are easy to manipulate as long as their true self, their emotional world, remains in the cellar. Remember the cellar, the glass house that we talked about a few days ago, where we hide in a glass house and then we bury our authenticity in the ground. So we look a certain way, but really there's all this stuff that's kind of stuck underneath the surface. So our true selves, our emotional world, remains in the cellar of the glass house in which they have to live, sometimes until puberty or until they come to therapy, and very often until they have become parents themselves. Robert, now 31, could never be sad or cry as a child without being aware that he was making his beloved mother unhappy and very unsure of herself. The extremely sensitive child felt himself warded off by his mother, who had been in a concentration camp as a child but had never spoken about it. Not until her son was grown up and could ask her questions did she tell him that she had been one of 80 children who had had to watch their parents going into the gas chambers and that not one child had cried. Because cheerfulness was the trait that had saved her life in childhood, her own children's tears threatened her equilibrium. Do we see how parents can just simply have unhealed trauma and then can't show up because they didn't have access to therapy, or therapy wasn't a thing, or this work wasn't a thing, or it was only for people that were not well, right? Like it's not always like narcissistic people. Like she had to cope with what a horrific trauma. And then of course her son is sad and it's like she can't handle it. It's going to be so heart-wrenching for her that she can't even tolerate it, right? So we see the importance of trauma work in becoming more of an emotional adult and building. It's really about expanding our capacity and our